What's up, guys? Tonight we meet the 9th metahuman from bus 405. New friendships are formed, and unfortunately somebody... Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Stand on the bar, stomp your feet, start clapping. Got a real good feeling, something bad about to happen. Pulled up to the church, but I got so nervous.
About to get on this table.
I know. What's up, guys? We are so happy to be back. I feel like it's been forever. My name is Drew Jones. You can follow me on all the things at OKDrewJ. And to very far left to me is my amazing panelist.
Hey everyone, this is Chauncey K Robinson, and you can find me on Twitter at MissChaunceyKR.
And how's it going, guys? My name is Zach Silverman. You can find me all across social media at Zach with the CH Silverman 2.
Do you guys move away further every week?
I feel like it, maybe. I feel like we're drifting apart.
Next episode, they're just not even going to be at the table.
The buddy system.
It's the buddy system like tonight.
well-
Buddy system over here. You gotta get yourself a buddy. Sorry.
The chat room is my buddy.
Oh, hello chat room. How
What's
are
up?
you tonight?
Hey, everyone.
So, initial reactions to our first episode back.
It's back! Yes! I've been waiting so long. You could tell how long I've
Grew
been
a
waiting.
beard.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It has been.
Oh, it was a good episode. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. It was like well-rounded. It didn't end the way I thought it would either.
No, it did not.
No. Not at all.
I was like, oh, this isn't going to be happy.
It's like, that's how we're doing
Yeah,
it?
I've given up on what like the writers are saying of it just being like an upbeat season.
Yeah. I feel like
Hit me in the feels a lot.
I feel like every episode when we're watching the show, I'm like, this is not what the writers said they were going to do. Oh, that's my voice. But anyway, so we get right back into following up to the last episode. Barry is out of jail, free man, and he walks into work and...
He's ostracized.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at him like he's got lepers or something.
Yeah, that was an interesting whole thing because of the idea of him walking through and people are just like, oh, but you, he was like, I was tried and I got off, and they're like, well, people still think you're guilty, and the whole thing about fake
whole
news
OJ
and
thing.
social media. Yeah, it was really a playback.
Case of the OJ.
Yeah.
if
You know,
the glove does not fit, you must quit.
I was okay with him walking in and everyone being like looking at him like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
You know?
I expected that too. Like, I didn't think he was going to be welcomed back with open arms.
Yeah.
But for the speculation to still be that he still did it, or like that people thought that wasn't really DeVoe, which I was like,
They ain't wrong though.
you're not,
You're
not wrong.
Yeah, I'm not playing everyone's to be so dumb. So like,
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I'm okay.
I thought it was interesting though, when they said allegations are treated as facts. I was like,
Yeah, that's how I was like a little skeeved given what happened with
Yeah.
Andrew Cranesburg recently. I was like, I don't know, guys.
I was like,
That's weird.
did no one double check this
No one double
this
checked that
line?
script line.
It's a little weird.
Little meta.
So he ends up getting put on indefinite leave of absence. But let's be real. I don't feel like he's ever really there that much anyway.
Well, when he's not on screen, you kind of just infer that maybe he's working.
Yeah.
So,
But it's like,
Yeah.
no. Well, Iris hasn't been to work for a minute.
True.
So,
I know Iris over here.
yeah.
I
Give,
think we
Iris
just
hasn't
assume
been-
she's writing articles in between.
yeah.
like,
Iris over here giving him a pep talk. I'm like, do you have a job too?
like it's okay though. They somehow, I mean, indefinite leave of absence. The first thing I wrote was, is he still going to continue to get paid?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he's still getting a check, even though he's sad about being unemployed.
That's a
I
good
mean,
idea. Yeah,
he was
that's-
still probably. I
that's
mean,
a good
they
thought.
got a 2-story loft. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully somehow they're paying
Yeah,
for
how they
that.
gonna be being the Flash isn't gonna pay for it, that's for sure.
Right? Sometimes I think about that. Like, he doesn't get paid to be the Flash.
Not at
Yeah,
all.
I mean, a lot of shows, they don't always, especially with superheroes, address the idea of what does a superhero do for a living.
Yeah.
Most of the shows, they're all
Millionaires, yeah.
millionaires, you know?
So it's interesting that you have this show where he's not a millionaire. He's a working class. Well, I don't think he's necessarily working class, but he's like upper middle working class. His parents was, one was killed.
They were doctors,
Yeah, so
yeah, he comes
I mean,
from well.
it's kind of cool that they do address the fact that Barry actually does want to work for a living. So I thought that was,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we have officially 4 metas left from bus 405 that we have to meet. And
No,
we
3, I think.
Well,
we meet the fourth. Okay,
we
I
meet.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying.
Okay.
We meet the fourth one via mixtape,
Right.
Mix CD.
mix CD,
Mix CD. Gotta.
SoundCloud
Who
link.
listens to those anymore. CDs.
We meet Izzy Bowen.
Mm-hmm. Who they think is a guy, but is a girl.
Is a girl, country
Izzy's
singer.
a cool name. I like Izzy.
Yeah, I dig it.
I felt her pain. You know, as Chauncey, people always assume, and then
Drew.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Zach, I know, right? Like, jeez, we're just so burdened, guys.
Right.
Man.
So we briefly meet her, and she's not really feeling what they have to say. They're like, she's doing the whole "I'm country."
That's a nice.
I'm a hard ass country. My parents left me. Everybody left me. My man left me, or something
Yeah,
like
and
that.
I
was
pulled
like,
up my bootstraps and I kept a trucking.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get really annoyed sometimes with TV, like when they have country people, because I'm from Kentucky, and when they're really thick accents and they make us sound like we make everything like,
twang.
yeah, and we have weird like metaphors and what. I'm like, we don't
All talk like
all
that.
talk like that, but okay, it's fine, girl. So she thinks she's good to go on her own. Meanwhile, we're seeing DeVoe like,
As Jinx DeVoe.
Jinx DeVoe,
Yeah.
which I did not like. I'm glad that one was done with. Yeah. No, I don't know.
Was you not feeling like the portrayal, or
Yeah, I was probably more. I think I wrote something somewhere where like the Jinx DeVoe, it's so disconnected from his wife and the love that they had, and I know he's like going down that rabbit hole, but there was something off about it.
I felt like we are supposed to be seeing a disconnect though, so that's
Yeah.
why I kind of was like,
But it was like the previous character did a very good job to embody the original DeVoe's actions and everything, and this one kind of just like threw it to the wind a little bit. But that could also be attributed to being like the breakdown of his mind itself as well. Like
Yeah.
we're seeing him
Cognitive
just
functioning.
not.
it was weird to hear like Becky have like a lower toned voice this entire episode.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, maybe that's what threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, because we were
she's
so
the
used to
whole
her talking like this and
chipper
that.
and
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting her being like all in black clad and like how we had seen her in contrast. So, you know, to see her and like everyone's kind of making fun of that, right? Like when Izzy saw her, like, oh, this 3-foot person is supposed to take me out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I just want to know like where they get these black leather capes made so quickly for DeVoe, because he's clearly going through these bodies pretty quickly. And like, do you just like, where do you
You
buy?
have a closet full of. Well, I mean,
Where do you buy
he's
villain
planned-
capes?
He's planned this all ahead. So obviously he's planned all the clothes he's gonna have to wear because he knew he was gonna be going into
Yeah.
these bodies. I just don't know where the affection for like black leather came about.
Yeah, because he was, well, I guess when he was the thinker, like when he was his regular body, he had on black, all black too.
But he was wearing like sweaters and
Yeah.
still
Well,
looking
like in
a
the
per-
real, in the non.
True,
yeah.
true. I just want to know like who's making those for you. Is that like
It's a good
Zara,
tailor.
H&M? Who makes bad guy clothes? So can we talk about like this whole Ralph and Izzy dynamic, because I felt
Let's
like
get
it was
into it.
maybe it was just me. I felt like it was kind of forced on us. Like he got sprung real quick, and like she's pretty, but I was like, he's like hearing wedding bells. It felt
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And it's only been like 6 hours of training.
Yeah.
Like they met her the previous night, and it somehow he was just sprung.
But it's interesting because they played it to both the characters, where Izzy even within the 6 hours was just like impressed by him because he could like take on the sound waves that she was doing, and I don't know, they did a good job at like making them seem like they like each other.
Yeah, I definitely saw the chemistry. I
Yeah,
saw the
they
chemistry
did it quick,
between,
which was nice.
I
Yeah,
saw.
I
I,
like that.
definitely saw the
It
chemistry.
was not forced.
Storyline wise, I felt like it was forced. It was
Yeah.
like we needed to. I guess I felt like part of it was that they needed us to really feel for Izzy, and it needed to have some weight with what ultimately happened to her. So they needed someone out of the bunch to
Which
really have a
didn't
connection to her.
Really play for me the weight.
yeah.
If there was a 2-part episode with her, maybe. I think this one though was just kind of like.
Yeah, because like with Becky, we got to see her as the bad guy, and then we got to kind of see her have some redemption, and so then that's when you kind of felt connected to her. And with Izzy, it's just like we just get, you know, rootin' tootin' bootin'
Badass
Izzy from the get-go, and then
Yeah.
there's no like character development throughout the episode. I did, however, like seeing the kind of flip between Barry and Ralph, where like Ralph is being the more patient and like nurturing, and Barry's like, do, we have to get this done.
Yeah. Well, you know what is interesting? I feel like Barry has become the first Harry in season 1 where he's like pushing him. So he's like pushing all these people to be heroes, and not everyone's going to be a hero, like Iris said.
Yeah.
But it was so interesting seeing Barry, because I just got this vision of the first Harry and how he trained him, which was kind of a cool throwback to, all the seasons. Writers kind of do that in a nice way.
Yeah, and there was a couple of throwbacks throughout.
There was,
whatever
which
you do.
they need to keep up with that,
Yeah.
which is good. I'm glad they're keeping those timelines.
Exactly. Yeah, there were a couple of throwbacks, and I felt like that pressure that Barry is putting on was clearly he was feeling the pressure from this whole thing with DeVoe, kind of still, even though he's out of prison, kind of uprooting his life and knowing, like, he watched those people die, the other metas die. So it's
that's
like,
gotta be traumatizing.
Yeah, exactly. He watched them die right in front of him, especially Jinx, how she, and like that emotional weight that actually did work last episode, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's clear, it's like, he doesn't want to watch other people die.
Yeah, it's almost like a slight PTSD that we saw
Yeah.
with him. We had to see him get a couple.
And it was cool that they addressed that too.
Yeah.
That wasn't just like, oh, I'm just positive Barry again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something does weigh him down, which is nice. But he doesn't allow it to affect the rest of the team, at least, because he didn't want to put that onto Iris. Even he said.
Yeah. I liked, I know we always talk about how much we like their little heart-to-hearts. I really liked Ralph's heart-to-heart.
It's the meta.
Yeah. I really liked that little
the meta
speech.
or meta, like outside of.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
I this whole season has been meta. Now, it shouldn't be
Yeah.
upbeat. It should be saying like this whole season will be meta, because I mean, Ralph was just like, oh, I thought you guys always just do straws to go walk down that hallway and have that pep talk, which they have had so many pep talks in that hallway, which is funny though. You ever notice how sometimes the hallway will be veering left? This time it veers to the right. They just turn it around, different
Who's supposed
lighting.
to be talking to who?
Where are you going? Yeah, I liked it. It was cool.
I mean, all throughout. I mean, I think we've been saying it though. Like all throughout the season, like they've had those, like when Killer Frost became Killer Oprah or whatever that name was. Like they always have these pep talks throughout, and it's like it's so funny that Ralph is so aware of how they stop with like who's having a pep talk this episode.
I feel like Ralph is. He doesn't break the fourth wall, but like he's an embodiment of like the audience and as well as a character where he like can relate to us, where he'll talk about things that we question, like why is someone always having a pep talk? Why is there a pep talk at this point in the show? And like he just like makes fun of it in a nice way that doesn't like destroy the show.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like at the end of the season, someone should take all the pep talks and make it a
compilation.
They really should, and they would all resonate.
Yeah, and we could just listen to it daily and live our best lives.
Can we also take a compilation of Ralph calling out all the times the writers have done things in the past?
Yeah.
That would be freaking
Ralph
hilarious.
Meta, and then
Ralph Meta. Let's just call it Ralph
self-help
Meta.
tape, The Flash self-help tapes.
Live chat, get on that.
Someone make that.
Please, nothing would make me happier. One of my favorite parts of this entire episode was the random pairing of Harry
and D.A. Cecile Horton.
That
D.A. Cecile Horton.
I was in a good way, but I was like, "What is this? What are we doing?" Because Joe wasn't here the whole episode. I think someone pointed that out in the chat that Joe was not here the whole. He was missed, But honestly, I didn't actually notice until like a little bit later on.
Yeah. I love that, like, this season especially, we've seen relationships form that, like, you didn't really think to put together. And this was definitely one of them that I was like, okay, I want more scenes with just them.
It really worked. They had, like, this, I mean, I'm not going to say romantic chemistry because Cecile and Joe are, but it was, like, this, like, really great way they bounced off of each other in the episode. It was, he kept calling her D.A. Cecile.
D.A. Cecile Horton.
And it was really great the way they utilized this to allow Harry to talk to somebody, because I think it's always a given that Harry's going to talk to Cisco.
Yeah.
So they gave him someone different who could hear his thoughts, because Harry isn't good at saying what he feels, and Cecile could already hear it.
It's almost like the writers heard that we were complaining that Harry wasn't around enough because Cisco was with Ralph, and they're like, fine. We're going to give you Cecile.
And it actually really worked.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
I didn't feel like it was contrived.
We're limited on that, though.
How?
well, she's only getting it because of the pregnancy. Once the pregnancy's gone, bye-bye telekinetic powers, and then, you know, she can't really relate so well to Ralph. Not to Ralph, to Harry.
But I think that by the time that happens, I think their friendship will be developed enough that it can stand.
Yeah, maybe it'll stay
on its own.
Perfect.
Because I
would
feel
hope
like
so.
there was stuff towards the end of the episode, she didn't have to listen as much. More so as she was just like
Picking up on it.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm wondering if we're gonna see Jesse.
We are, I think so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Even
That'd
though
be nice.
Because they've kept referencing it. No one's referencing Wally at all.
Yeah.
But they keep referencing.
whatever.
Jesse.
When you know you did something wrong.
So I feel like we're gonna get Jesse, although everyone seems to, you know, I don't know. Did anyone even mention where he went?
Wally?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to...
Well, I know he went to Legends, but did
yeah.
they say on Flash that he went to Legends? Do they know?
They have. I don't think they've mentioned anything about it.
Okay.
He said he went to some town, though. I can't remember
I think
where.
Wally West doesn't exist on the Flash any longer.
It's a bummer. Question. I felt
He's so broken.
He's
up.
so over it.
On to the next one. Could care less. I thought Harry wasn't allowed back at Earth 2. Wasn't he, like, exiled or something? Or was it he just being, like, over dramatic and saying, like, you know, nobody wants me there, so I left? Kind of. I can't remember. I remember hearing him say, like, I'm back because I'm not supposed to be at Earth 2.
I thought he just felt like there was nothing left.
Yeah,
in
nothing
Earth 2
there. And
for
I think
him.
Jesse didn't Jesse like tell him. I think Jesse's whole thing was like, I need to be I need to be a hero on my own. I don't want you hovering over me. So
Yeah.
he kind of felt some type of way. I think.
Ivan says that Wally went to Blue Valley.
Okay.
Blue Valley.
But he's on the. We all know, like, if you watch the Legends,
Yeah.
he's on the ship now.
Yeah.
Real quick, you guys rattled my brain of a memory that I was covering the CW Weekly last week, and I believe they had mentioned that not only Jesse Quick but also Jay Garrett, I believe.
Yes, I
Is gonna be
remember
coming
reading that
back.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just bringing everybody back but
All the
Wally.
speeds.
Yeah.
Except
all
Wally,
the
yeah.
speedsters. No, they're gonna. I think what I've read is that there's gonna be some type of episode that requires all the speedsters to come, except Wally, I guess.
So-
But,
So he's never really speeds.
yes, he was.
You know what, Zach?
I know.
You're being disrespectful to Canon right now because Wally
I'm
West is like
kidding.
the second Big Flash.
I know he is. He has a very important role in the future of Flash. Comic books, that is.
So the development of the Cecil and Harry friendship gives us the what was it called? What was
Cerebral
inhibitor.
Which they threw back to last season with Savitar, which was kind of cool, and they put him into that room with the MRI machine looking thing.
Yeah.
I was glad to finally see that too come back. When that popped up, I was like,
forgot about that.
right? Like they got away from it long enough that I think the audience would forget about it. So
Yeah.
when
I
it
forgot
came
about
back,
it.
you're like, oh, wait a minute. And it was so funny because Harry was like, well, if I knew that, I wouldn't have spent all this time coming up with a second name. So
Naming is very hard.
Yeah, he finally appreciates what Cisco does in terms of naming stuff. But I thought that was cool that came back and that they'd use it against Bo. But then I'm thinking, why didn't anyone else think of that?
Yeah.
Because Harry's the genius, that's
Well,
why.
not that anyone thought of like how to make it, but why didn't Barry and them remember when it was like DeVoe? Oh, what's this thing? Remember when someone told us the cerebral inhibitor?
Yeah.
Like, why
I
is
mean,
this just now coming back up in conversation?
Because I feel like at that point, I mean, that was when Barry just got him the future Barry, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that was such a high intense scene. That's a lot to be like, hey, let me file this away and remember it, in the future. That's just I don't see why he would remember that until that point, until it's been brought
Yeah.
up.
Fair enough.
Speaking of things that I have questions about,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of things that happened in this episode that I was like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I wrote down a few of those as well.
So let's
Okay,
get into
let's
some of
go through
those.
them.
Please.
DeVoe's power where he was able to like stop Izzy from walking. Which meta gave him that power?
That's not a power. That was what he trapped Barry in when he was in the pocket dimension thing, and Barry had to he couldn't vibe out of it. But
Okay.
I don't understand where that is coming from.
Like what is that?
Is that
It's a force field.
exactly? So is DeVoe able to do that, like on like will?
I mean,
Because is that a power,
I
or
would
is there some type of
understand-
technology?
I would understand it working in his pocket dimension because he has control over what goes on there. But he's not in the pocket dimension. So it's just
Exactly.
regular Earth, and he just has a force field blocking. And I thought Barry was on the other side of that force field, and then he like zooms across. And
To
I'm like,
Ralph, and he's
I'm
like,
like, oh, I guess he can't go past it. Like it's, I just.
Yeah.
Someone suggested from the chat, Black Magic 99. It's from his chair, probably some kind of tech.
But he didn't have the chair when he was stopping Izzy.
Yeah.
The chair wasn't there.
his chair wasn't there. So
Yeah.
it's like, was he drawing power from the chair?
Can he draw power from? I don't know. There are a couple. What? There were some other
I
ones that we
wasn't-
were like.
Yeah, he did something. What was when the Flash and Ralph? He like threw them together. Like what power was that? When the first time that they all
Oh,
encountered
I
each
think
other?
that was Jinx and the bad luck thing.
Yeah,
It was like
that
a-
Cisco's hand would be able to bump into Ralph, and then Ralph would.
Yeah, I thought the Cisco thing was not Killmonger. That's Black Panther.
Oh.
I've been watching that too many times this week. That was Kilgore.
Yeah.
And then Jinx was the series of bad luck. So it was
Oh,
like
that
a
makes sense. Yeah.
ripple effect,
Okay.
if you will.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
And then we saw that the psychic. I always forget his name.
Dominic. Oh yeah, Dominic is
Dominic
apparently.
had another power as well that like he didn't.
He can give brain aneurysms.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has like brain control. I just feel like I don't know, I feel like that was like we have to figure out how to get from point A to point B. We're just gonna say
We're just
Dominic
gonna-
can do
yeah.
this real quick.
It was funny because I wrote down. I was just like, "Wait, what power was that? Who's that?" I'm having such trouble keeping up with it. And then she started narrating, thanks so and so, thanks that for this power, and saying that came from this person. I'm like, all right, it's a little cheesy, but I need you to tell
I was
me
gonna
this
say,
because I was like, I have no idea what's going on right now, or why you're doing this, or how you're doing it.
Yeah, and I think that also answered the other question. I think for me, I was also wondering if, well, we knew he killed the other ones, but I guess I was holding out hope that Dominic was somehow still alive. But
Yeah,
I
because
think,
we didn't see him in the chair,
Yeah.
kind of like he was still looking like there was two of them at one
Yeah.
point. And I was like, oh, so Dominic's still alive. Cool. I
And
like
I
him.
think we got our answer that
Yeah,
he
no.
was killed.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm wondering too. I guess we'll get to it. Like, everyone that he takes over, do they die? I don't know.
I want to know what happened to the guy with the tears because they assume that
DeVoe had
that
him.
DeVoe has him, but we haven't seen
I
that.
haven't seen him.
And DeVoe said he only had 6 powers at the moment, so I don't think that counts.
No.
The tears guy.
I
So
don't- well, they said that. Yeah, he's still missing the tears guy.
yeah,
I think what's her face might have him again.
really.
The metal lady. Amunet.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Jinx DeVoe did use the tear thing on Marlize.
True. Oh, you know
The
what?
last
Then maybe
episode.
they do.
So I don't know. Maybe somehow he got his tears like some other way and was holding them, and then Amunet has the rest of the guy.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
then again, how would he be able to just like randomly use the tears if he didn't have them somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first season where the first like main villain where I really have no idea what Endgame is, and I think it's really stressing me
It's
out.
stressing me out so much. I still cannot figure it out.
I mean, my thing with it, I was still wondering, why not Ralph? Why are you still
Yeah.
taking over everyone else? And we already, I mean, the first time, like last episode, when we saw that Ralph could change his shape, I'm like, okay, then it's clear DeVoe should take him over, right?
Yeah.
Because he can go back to his old body and maybe even be able to walk since he's going to be Ralph. But why not? Why is Ralph still left?
You know
So
what
I feel
I
like Ralph is like one of the lesser important metas.
Oh, see, I think Ralph might be one of the more important metas. I think because even when they're looking at Izzy, Marlize kept
Oh.
saying she's not ready, she's not ready.
ready.
And I feel like Ralph has been training and prepping this entire time,
That would be cool.
being stronger and stronger and stronger. I feel like Ralph might be the in-game body and maybe because he can stretch in more from whatever, his body is better designed to like hold all of
Maybe
that.
it won't deteriorate.
Yeah.
It just seems so elaborate to have to go through all this with that's what I'm saying. I'm just like,
Yeah.
all of this to get what exactly?
Central
Yeah.
City only.
Right? I don't know. This
It's-
seems a lot.
Yeah, it is. I don't know.
It is also okay. I'm sorry. Barry just decides to whip off his mask to Izzy like it's nothing.
We all had that moment.
Everyone
where
was
like,
like,
no,
what?
no, and even Iris was like, she's like, Flash.
Yeah,
You know she wanted to say Barry?
yeah.
Don't you do that.
I was not happy. He just does it for everyone. He just whips it out.
I know. Why don't we just get on TV, Barry, and just take off the mask
Why not
then
just
and
pull
there?
an Iron Man?
But also, if you're
Yes, please. That would be awesome.
oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd kind of love that. But why didn't you just do it when you were on trial for murdering a man, since you just want to show everybody who you are?
And why not just show up the first time when you're gonna go meet Izzy? Like, that was you had two of the same scenes. It was unnecessary.
Yeah, because especially with that first scene, it was like, why would she go with these two random guys who are like, you got to come with us?
Yeah, someone's attacking you right now. It's like,
like, yeah, that seems real suspect.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, we don't have time for this after the first time we met her. So I'm gonna, and everyone, I mean, I thought it was cute, you know, Cisco's like, hi, I'm you know.
Hi, Cisco Ramon.
He was flirting with her. I thought Cisco still has a girlfriend.
Well, we haven't seen her in a minute. So
Well, the last time we saw of her, she sent that, you know, sexy box.
which was like weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like,
the man has needs, Zach.
I mean, a man has
Well,
needs.
listen, just because we had a 2-week period off doesn't mean that they've had like a 2-week. It, you know, could have been just like a few days. Who knows?
And then she automatically also recognized Ralph too. I'm like, well, there's not much stopping anyone from recognizing
How do you
Ralph.
not? Yeah.
This is my
Like,
question.
you're the other guy too. I'm like, of course he is.
Yeah.
He's only covering his
Deductive
eyes.
reasoning. This is my question. Barry obviously can help hide his identity because he'll vibrate so fast. What does Ralph do?
Nothing. He puts black eyeshadow on.
His voice is a little different.
But like
It seems a little deeper.
his golden boy cheekbones, I feel like are very like I
Got
would
a very protruding chin as well.
yeah I would recognize. I'd be like, okay, Ralph.
Yeah.
Like if
Anyone
no,
on the police force would be like, oh, you're still around. Like, now you're a superhero. Okay, cool.
Well, it's one of those things too. I mean, because look, the three of them were their masked, but then Caitlin and Iris are just chilling there in Star Labs. I mean, it's kind of like, well, I guess it doesn't matter that you know that we work at Star Labs.
Yeah.
Like,
Caitlin gets a new lace front and no one notices.
exactly. So it's like,
I'm just like,
I felt like it was a mixed bag. Like, they were mad that Barry revealed his identity, but then they were sitting there willing. It was just all mixed up.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know what.
like no one notices that Barry Allen's wife is at
Right?
Star Labs all the time,
Hanging
with
out with
the
the
Flash,
Chilling, hanging out.
who just so happens to be the same height and body type.
Exactly. So.
What's really funny is when he's like in the suit, or no, when he's not. Where was I going with this? There's that mannequin that holds his suit sometimes, and the mannequin just chills when the suit's not there. Also, so just like, huh? Why is there just some random mannequin like over there?
With the Flash on. What's going on?
Yeah.
I just don't think the people of Century City are really
No.
that zoned in.
No.
You know,
That's
maybe
okay.
one too many metas to that brain, and they're just not gonna. They're like, you know what? We're not gonna ask any questions. I feel like if I lived there, I would just like I'd know, but I just like I don't even care. Like,
Yeah.
you keep my streets safe. I got you.
It was interesting though. This episode too didn't have it so that there was a big bad either.
Yeah.
Like, you know, usually there's always a
been
big
big
bad
bad.
going on in the city along with the rest of the plot line. And this time it was contained to the DeVoe and also Harry and
Yeah, I feel
Sil.
like the city's kind of like blindfolded from
It's been
it
a
all.
little
They
quiet.
like they don't. They're like, oh, it's it's been nice actually. It hasn't been metas attacking or whatnot or some big baddie.
I really feel like we're getting to like the climax point of Marlise and DeVoe's like unraveling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because there is some like really tense moments between them this episode.
Well, Marlise now thinks like, hey, maybe your brain isn't handling all this. You have like 6 potentially personalities in you, but also powers where like it's a lot of dark matter, gray matter,
Dark matter. I
dark
think.
matter.
I didn't even think about that. Do you think some of the personalities are like chilling in there?
They have to be. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be like that could be like an ending thing. If the bodies are still somewhere around, that they could have a peaceful,
Like their souls go
send
up
off.
into the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
Something
little
like
like.
that.
Send
I
up
know-
some lanterns.
I don't know if they
Yeah.
can get into that completely, but that'd be nice. That'd be a nice happy ending instead of like. I mean, this has been probably the season with the most deaths so far.
Yeah.
I mean, this is.
But they're so
I
like
think
kind
so.
of unimportant. They're like they're
Becky.
important. No,
Becky
sorry.
mattered.
Wow.
They're
Zach.
important. They're very, very important. But it was just so rushed compared to like all the other times when someone died. You're like, oh my god, like they're dead.
And this
Although
is
the
like-
Harry dying, kind of, I've lost the effect of Harry dying. He's died like what?
Harry dies.
I
like-
missed HR. I thought.
Oh,
she
HR.
was
I
sweet.
loved HR, but I
Wait.
love this Harry a lot.
Oh, this Harry's the best.
Oh yeah,
This Harry's my
okay.
favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did love HR.
I get the idea that it's happening very quick. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just to exemplify how
powerful.
DeVoe
He's
is
very
more
powerful.
so than the
How
idea
reckless
of
he? Not
loving
reckless,
every
but,
person that dies.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do agree with y'all that like what Marley's saying was like his cognitive, something's messing up, and he's getting more and more irritable. When we first met DeVoe, he was so chill. It was just
Calculated,
like, it was like, no, like that great scene him and Barry had in his classroom was like one of the best scenes
where he
I've
dragged
seen in the show.
him.
Yeah, and it was just like, wow, and that's been missing for a good. I mean, when he was in Dominic's body, he kind of gave that.
Yeah.
He was when the actor was playing Dominic was playing DeVoe, you still had that a little bit more of a chilled version. But even when I think there was a shift when he got into Jinx's body.
Yeah.
And I think that was purposeful. I think that's purposeful.
I
don't
agree.
think that's necessarily just like the actress not doing the impersonation as well. I think they wanted it that way, where it's kind of like he's becoming more and more unstable.
Yeah.
Maybe he does have an end limit. You know, how much he could take in.
I agree. I've just been sitting here trying to figure out, like, maybe what the angle of the end of the season is, because we still have allegedly Dawn Allen. I'm still waiting for her to come back into play.
She was there, and then she's not there right now.
Yeah. So I'm like, I have her in the back of my mind trying to figure out what her whole purpose.
I feel like she's gonna have a bigger purpose in the next season. Like,
you think it's gonna be all the way till next season?
Yeah.
I kind of want her to pop up when Iris gets her, like, powers for the episode or whatever. I'd kind of like to see her pop up. I want to see her and Iris have some interaction, since we already got to see her and Barry have a weird little interaction. I want her and Iris.
Ooh, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
What was Izzy's name? Like,
I don't think
did Cisco end up
the
naming
Fiddler.
her?
Fiddler.
DeVoe named her.
DeVoe named her
Yeah.
Fiddler, which meant she was doomed.
Yeah, thinking it was, or thinking as Cisco.
Cisco, yeah.
Oh, that was another one. How did DeVoe see Cisco when Cisco vibed in?
Wasn't that moment happening right then?
Yeah, but can you see Cisco when he's not, like, when he, because Cisco wasn't physically there, he was like just vibing. He was just watching it, and I don't think you don't normally see Cisco when he does that if you're on the other side.
Maybe the psychic thing. He could, like, pick up on his brainwaves. Maybe. You know?
I'll buy it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to that whole thing of DeVoe being all-knowing. I think they use that when it suits them.
Yeah.
They really do.
When it's like suddenly DeVoe can turn around, if no one likes it. Like, how did you, what?
It was creepy, though.
It was a great effect. It was a great moment, but at the same time, it, like, maybe the continuity wasn't there. So I was like, oh, that's random. But then, like, because if she knew that, or if DeVoe knew that, then why didn't DeVoe know about the cerebral inhibitor and that they were trying to put it on his head? And that was a whole thing. I know you're gonna get to it, like,
did.
you know, well, he did, but, like,
I think this also goes to downplaying powers, because Cisco, for all intents and purposes, Cisco can just, like, vibe anything and, like, kind of see the future and just, like, know everything that could happen. So, like, it's a not a plot hole. It's the writers do it so that, like, they're downplaying his powers, where I feel like they just kind of have to do that. Like, that scene was almost necessary, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's talk about the cerebral inhibitor, since we kind of brushed up on it. So originally it was made to help
Stop dreams.
What do you think Joe West dreams about?
Well, being naked
Besides
in
being
math class.
naked in math class.
well, I feel like he was, like, she said it was an ongoing action movie.
Yeah.
So maybe he dreams he's like Lethal Weapon 4. He's always saying, like, I'm too old for this.
I imagine he's singing a bunch of songs.
Oh my
back in
gosh,
Brooklyn.
that would be awesome. Jesse L. Martin.
You know,
I was listening to the Rent soundtrack the other day.
so good.
Same.
I actually was too the other day.
Randomly,
Randomly, it came on my YouTube.
that soundtrack
It's
makes
really
me cry.
good.
But
It's freaking
anyway, I feel like Joe West is just the embodiment of, like, an old lab dog. Like, I feel like
I was like, an old lab. What?
like an old Labrador. Like,
Okay.
he's just like, so I just feel like Joe dreams about, like, chasing buses and whatnot. Like,
Oh,
when
I
he
see
sleeps.
where you're going with that. Okay.
Yeah, like, I just feel like he's just, like,
Yeah.
so pure,
See,
so
why not
loyal.
just, like, go sleep in another room? That's a big house with nobody in it.
Do you think? Well, how far away does she have to be from someone not to hear them? Because
Well, remember when she first got her powers and she was standing on the side, she could
she'd
hear
hear
the person
everything.
Yeah.
from across. So she
That's
could probably
true.
hear him all up in the house.
That's true. That
Yeah.
sucks. But seems like she's kind of controlling her powers a little bit better.
so So Harry first makes the big 10
10
pound
pound
like helmet.
That was such a funny scene.
That was a really fun.
It was cute.
Why was he throwing things though?
He was so frustrated. That's what he said.
He's under a lot of stress, you know. Jesse, and he feels
He's not
dumb.
smart,
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Harry's kind of being put in his place a little bit. I feel like that was needed a little bit.
Yeah.
You thought he got too cocky?
Yeah, because he has like this ego to him where like he even like talks down to Cisco sometimes. It's just like, hey, look, come on, man.
Sometimes I think that's for show, though. When
Yeah,
he's
it
all
is
like,
for sure.
I'm the smartest
But I'm just saying,
person
I
in the room.
like that there's actually someone smarter than him. Because before that, there really wasn't.
True.
True.
I agree with that. And it's good because it gives him conflict too.
Yeah.
This idea of I thought I was like I could always, at least if I thought long enough, I could get ahead.
Yeah.
But even with this cerebral inhibitor, it was like it didn't. You know.
Yeah.
Why didn't it work? How
That
does
was
he
the
know?
question too.
What is that about? Because he was just like, but I fail-saved it against Kill, what's his name?
Kilgore,
Kilgore.
not Killmonger.
I was going to say Killmonger. I was about to say Killmonger.
Kilgore is on
Kilgore.
all our minds.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah, I have
They
no
better
idea.
explain that. They got some explaining to do.
Yeah, I have no idea why that didn't work. That really frustrated me. I was like,
What did Cisco whisper? Because while everyone was saying it, he eventually gave his whole thing, but he was like, maybe it did work. Did he say that, or did I mishear it?
no, I think he did say something like that, like maybe it was never supposed to work. But I thought he said maybe it did work.
Yeah, it sounded like he
Yeah.
said maybe it did work. Then the second time he said maybe it wasn't supposed to, or someone said it
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought maybe he was going somewhere with that where he could track her,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Well, we did find out that the layer is in
A pocket dimension.
a pocket dimension.
Which, I don't know if the writers did this on purpose, but there was the mention of Einstein.
Yes, my
and
man.
then the next scene or
love
two in the end, they have her playing the violin, and it's not country, but it's like classical, which Einstein used to do to think and to like help postulate ideas and whatnot. And that's kind of what she was doing in the end.
Fun fact: there's a
Kinda
really cool opera called Einstein really cool and weird opera called Einstein on the Beach that has a lot of classical music.
Einstein
People-
on the beach.
It's really weird. Y'all should check it out.
It's an opera.
Yes, it's opera. It just made me think of that because they played in Einstein, and I thought that was really cool. The whole smartness coming
Yeah.
in again, which, yeah, I was gonna say the whole thing once again of they don't always let Barry be the smart one, but
Yeah.
I mean it was cool when Cisco and Caitlin are able to pontificate.
I dig it. I also like that Iris is very open about me. Like, okay, so what does
both
that mean?
Both her and Joe.
Yeah.
And that's
like
what I was
like
saying.
father,
yeah.
like daughter, or like daughter, like father, which I love. You know, she's like, yeah, I have
Like-
no idea what you just
like
said.
that doesn't help.
Yeah.
But that was actually when I noticed that Joe hadn't showed
Yeah.
up. I was like, oh, this would be Joe's
This
part
would be
right
Joe's
now.
part right there,
Iris
yeah.
is doing it. Okay, got it.
I
I
wonder
love.
why he wasn't in this episode at all.
Yeah. I wonder if
miss
Jesse L.
you.
Martin was away, like, filming something else at the time.
A Rent revival.
One can only hope.
Law and Order reunion.
One can
I
only
would be okay with either. I think one of my favorite things that happened in this episode was the Iris and Barry conversation.
Yes, the West Allen conversation.
There were so many good little nuggets of gold that were
At
thrown.
the last conversation you're speaking of, or just
I think
Yeah,
both of them.
sprinkled
both
across the
both
episode.
conversations were great, but Iris reminding Barry that they're not like DeVoe because they're not ruthless. I was like, that right there is going to be what it comes down to,
love it.
is like considering others and like putting people first. I felt like that was like a little
Nice
preview
morsel.
to
Yeah.
what is to come.
I like that they were talking strategy too. In the first part of it, it was like, you know, they were talking like real team leaders.
Yeah.
And it really shows the role that Iris has started to play. But another thing was, like we've been saying before, the parallel between West Allen and what DeVoe and Marlise are going through, which is like they're constantly, you know, not talking.
Bickering.
Yeah, they're bickering.
Yeah.
They're not talking to each other. They're not, you know, on the same page. And while like Iris and Barry are so connected, which, you know, they've been showing that contrast, which I like.
Yeah. And I also liked Iris was just dropping some gems tonight. She said,
Dropping some gems.
heroes aren't made overnight. And I
Yes.
was like, ooh, speak the truth, girl.
I also
let it
like
be known.
I also like when she said everyone's not meant to be a hero. Not everyone can follow that path. And I thought that was really poignant when it came to Izzy. Because it's like, she was saying, like, Izzy is trying to survive. She's not trying to necessarily put on a mask or anything like Ralph is. Not all, you know, metahumans want to do that. Some, like, Izzy had the dream to, like, put out her music, you know. That was an interesting, like, diatribe that she had about, like, you know, I worked so hard, I'm about to drop my album.
Let go of some good men.
I was like, wow, first world problems, but it's like there's a lot going on here. So, but it was interesting that Iris was able to see that and say, look, she doesn't want to be a hero. She just wants to live to see her album get put out. And and you can't judge her for that.
Yeah. But she didn't live. Now did she?
I did not expect that.
That was a really sad moment. I felt like the eye contact between her and Ralph.
And I was like, just keep looking at me.
Yeah, that was a little strange. The just keep looking at me, but
because he knew she was gonna die.
It was redeeming of him. I knew she was gonna die.
Huh. Shout out to Ivan in the chat. The Fiddler's actually a villain in the comics, not a hero.
Yeah, Ivan was saying earlier that it's actually a guy. I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Isaac Bowen, not Izzy Bowen.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the Riddler from Batman. I was like, isn't that Jim Carrey?
No.
Didn't Jim Carrey play
He did play it.
Yeah, but not the same.
Not in Gotham.
Not the same character.
You know, it's kind of cool because we've been saying this like the whole season. I could just be going off on a tangent on this. I could be totally wrong, but like pay attention to everything said and done. I think just the fact, like, something sparked in my head when Iris was like, not everybody wants to be a hero. I was like, oh, she's not gonna live. I was like, I was like, is he? Because I mean, sometimes, you know, DeVoe doesn't get what he wants, and it's just like, maybe she'll join the team. We're gonna. And I was like, she's not gonna live.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I kind of felt like in this sense she was a red shirt from Star Trek. Like, she came on and she was like,
she's a red shirt.
She wasn't gonna make it. She was meant for Ralph, sort of. I don't necessarily think she was totally for Ralph's like plot line to like further his type of thing, but it was like she needed to die, I guess, to show where DeVoe would go, and I don't know, it just didn't seem like she'd be able to join the team, and I didn't see where the whole violin thing was going to be used for future episodes.
I did like that even though I thought the Ralph and her thing was kind of random, I did kind of like that we saw him romantically interested in someone, because for a minute there I was worried that they were going to try to push him and Caitlin together.
Yeah.
And so I was glad that we were like, okay, cool, friends, but not friends.
It was like a good romantic. It wasn't like a skeevy, oh, hey, you're really pretty and I want to like,
yeah,
where's my girlfriend kind of thing. Like, it was endearing, you know?
Yeah, it happened quick, but
yeah, it's okay. Puppy love, you know.
I really like Ralph's development, even though because of him, Wally is not here. And
I don't think, is it really because of him though?
Yes, because we needed a prep. We needed.
They had to fill that void.
Yeah, they needed someone else. They were like, nope, Wally's gotta go. Gotta bring in Ralph. They couldn't. They'd have too many superheroes, you know. And we're not getting rid of Cisco. I would riot if we got like.
Cisco's not going anywhere.
Y'all think
I'd boycott the show. I feel like I'd be like, I'm done later.
No.
I feel like we have this conversation a lot.
Yeah, y'all think I was mad about Wally? I would flip this desk if we would have gotten rid of Cisco. No, Cisco's not going anywhere. But so the only option really was to get rid of Wally, and so I'm glad at least we got some good character development. We've gotten some good storylines out of.
Yeah, it was a nice thing.
Ralph.
I didn't feel like it was. I mean, it was quick with him and Izzy, but they had great chemistry, and it really showed when she did die what that did.
Yeah,
I think Marlise likes this body a little bit more than she liked the other one, though. They seemed like they were already.
Yeah.
She was already kind of feeling her.
Yeah, I know. She like gave her a look.
She likes dark hair.
She gave her a look, and I was like, oh,
like Marlise likes this one better.
that's how we doing it.
And
Okay.
that's sad to think of it that way.
Well, I mean, even DeVoe said, like, me and my wife have some...
Right? He totally
what did he
rubbed
say?
it.
We have, like, a vacation.
Spend some time with my wife.
Spend some time with my wife, like...
And threw it in Ralph's face, like,
Yeah.
oh, man. Like, I wanted this, and you about to go use her body to mess with your...
Someone in the
brains.
chat, I missed it, it was way up, but someone in the chat was like, maybe DeVoe always wanted to just be a woman.
Maybe.
More power to you.
Yeah, whatever works. But, you know, I just thought it was interesting because she wasn't necessarily... Like, Marlise wasn't necessarily feeling Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
But...
She's in the brunettes.
I think she's into brunettes.
Yeah.
I think she was really... She looked at her and I was like, oh, this is more her speed right
But not only did DeVoe be like, I'm gonna go see my wife now, she called him Ralphie. And I was like, the level of disrespect to give me a little pet name after you just killed my potential boo.
No, he didn't give her the pet name. She said like when she knocked Ralph out, she's like, "I'm sorry, Ralphie."
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying that's the disrespect.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just like
the
to
vote.
use
Yeah.
it.
Gotcha, used it,
And
yeah.
be like, well, I'm about to use this body to go be with my wife. And it's so violating, too,
Yeah.
right? It's just like
Yeah.
you take these people's bodies and you use them however you want.
Yeah, it's just very uncomfortable when you like really
When
sit
you
there
really
and think about it. I did love the ending scene we had with Barry and Ralph, and it kind of was like the student has become the master-esque, like not necessarily. Well, it's just like Barry's kind of lost in translation, and Ralph's kind of the one who's like, "Let me help you get some direction," which I did not see coming.
Yeah.
So early, at least.
I kind of like that though, because in the beginning of the season, Barry kind of like looked down on Ralph for what he did and like what he did on the force, and now what he's doing as well. But now Barry's like in that same position. He's like, "Hey, look at, we're the same person now. You know, like you got ostracized from the force as well."
Yeah.
I like it.
I agree. I liked that moment between them. I like that Barry's going to be a private investigator.
I thought that
Yeah.
was cool. I was like, got him a job. But then I don't know how they're getting their money. Once again, I think it's going to be one of those things in name only.
Yeah.
I don't know when they're going to have time to take on cases to get paid.
Do you think they'll have like an episode kind of dedicated to Barry and Ralph,
Being
like
PIs?
PIs, like do like a
Film
noir.
I was just thinking that. That'd be
They've
cute.
I
done
like that.
something similar to like the noir-esque periods. I mean, why not do it again?
That'd be cute if
That'd
they
be
did
awesome,
that.
writers, if you're listening.
Yeah, or go in a Miami Vice direction. Let's get some white blazers,
Right?
Okay.
neon colored
That's some
t-shirts.
Archer stuff right there. They did that all
Yeah.
throughout those seasons.
I'm here for it. All right, let's do predictions.
Okay.
I was waiting for them.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
There we go. Zach.
No, don't start with me. I hate going first. Someone else. Go.
Chauncey.
Or someone else. I mean, there's one other person here.
I know.
Put on the spot. I think Dawn's gonna come back into play. I do think we're gonna see her before the season's out. I don't know if it's gonna be in regards to DeBow, but since he's like the main villain, and that seems to be a overarching kind of plot line, I think she'll come back into play maybe when all hope is lost. And it's like, what else do we do? And maybe she knows somehow. And I do still think she's Dawn, because I guess her identity hasn't necessarily been finalized, or we don't know yet. But I do still think she's Dawn. And I'm just looking forward to what they're hinting at of Run, Iris, Run. And
I'm so excited.
and I
So
think
cool.
maybe it might affect, like, you know, if she gets pregnant, then maybe that'll help the babies be metahumans. Who knows? So.
Ooh. Like that particular episode is the
Yeah.
conception date.
I don't know. Maybe Barry gets hella turned on, and it's just like, I always wanted to see what it'd be to be a speedster. Are you as fast as I am? Okay, I'm not gonna get it.
Well, you saw the preview. You saw the preview of next week of what's happening.
Oh well, there's a bomb and stuff.
There's
That's
a
not the
bomb
Run
and stuff.
Iris Run episode. Though.
No, it's not.
But I already have so many questions about that episode that we can get into next week. But
Yeah,
the preview
we'll
alone,
get
we were
into
like,
it.
wait.
We're like,
how's that work?
oh man, what do I think is gonna happen? Well, I wanted to see Jesse come back next week, but I don't think it's gonna happen given what we saw in the previews. So much. We're definitely gonna get to see a new meta, and it's pretty cliche. Whatever. The new meta is the power is gonna help defuse the bomb in some way. I can't really.
You think so?
too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be like the saving grace of the episode.
Okay. I think we are going to see Jesse next week, but I think it's going to be like a last minute thing.
Oh, like after everything settles down and.
No, like I think they're going to not be able to figure out how to defuse the bomb, and Jesse's going to come in last minute, get all those people out of the building, and then they're just going to let like the bomb explode or
We
something.
do need another speedster.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that happening. I like that.
Yeah, because Barry can't keep moving. We say in the preview that he's all sweaty and stuff, so they're gonna need someone else to
Yeah.
have that. We may see Garrett come back.
Yeah.
Garrett.
I think we'll see
okay.
maybe
Oh, that's
one
it.
of the speedsters or both. Who knows? Chauncey, I know you had a little tidbit.
Oh well, you know, it's a sad but also triumphant one because who we all love, Kevin Smith, recently had a massive heart attack, but he's okay. He was in the hospital, and he had posted it on Twitter, and as you know, like Kevin Smith's like huge director and comic book nerd and everything, and he's also directed upcoming episode. I think might be the run. Yeah, upcoming episode of Flash and others, and yeah, we just wish him well.
Yeah, we love Kevin Smith.
Yeah, get well.
He is dope. I also thought it was kind of crazy that he like tweeted almost like he was in the bed almost immediately after. He's like, "Hey, I'm still alive. I'm good to go."
Yeah.
I was happy to see that though.
Same.
I was just, cause I mean, I thought about what it would be to wake up and be like, Kevin Smith died. I'd be like, what?
I would be heartbroken.
Yeah, that would have been a blow.
Yeah.
I saw there was a parody Twitter account, like a God account, and they're like, "I didn't kill Kevin Smith because he still has to make Dogma 2 and 3." And I was like, yes.
That is true.
Here for that. Please give us those
Dogma's
movies.
a great movie.
Such a good movie.
Love
Hey,
that
so
movie.
wait, the chat real quick was confirming that next week is Jay and
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesse. So there we go. I take back
Yeah,
mine.
because,
Jay and Jesse's gonna come and help. It makes sense though. You
Yeah.
need more than one speedster.
They released, I think, episode stills of that, and you do see Jesse in them. So
See, there you go.
you did need more than one speedster. The Flash. It's fine.
Wally.
It's fine. You guys let us know what your all's predictions are in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, tweet at us. We really love interacting with you guys online, so keep it up. My name is Drew Jones. You can follow me on all the things at OKDrewJ. Where can they find you guys?
Hey y'all, once again, this is Chauncey K Robinson, and you can find me on Twitter at MissChaunceyKR.
And my name is Zach Silverman. You can find me all across social media at Zach with a CH Silverman 2. And I'm also on this new app, Vero, I don't know. Find me, Zach Silverman. Maybe be a friend with me.
Hey, make sure to check out Black Lightning tomorrow night and iZombie, because I saw some of you were talking about that.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. See you there. Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.